Dear students, warm greetings on behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today's telelesson is on packaging and branding. What is packaging and what is a brand and what is branding is what we are going to learn in today's telelesson, dear students. The topics to be covered in today's telelesson would be the concept and definition of packaging, the functions of packaging, the different types of packaging, the different types of labels which are available, branding. Then we will learn about, after discussing packaging and labeling, we will learn what is a brand, what is branding, the concept and definition. Then we will learn the characteristics of brands, the advantages and disadvantages of brands. Then we will conclude with learning the different elements of branding. So, dear students, first let us understand what is packaging. Packaging is the only way to effectively transport a product from the manufacturer to the consumer. You have manufactured a product, be a television, be a mobile phone, it may be a chocolate, it may be a biscuit, it may be ice cream, whatever product it is. The way you have manufactured, the product has to reach in the similar way or in the similar form to the ultimate consumer. If it is not reached in the similar way or the similar form, if the product is broken, if there is a spillage, if there is a leakage, if the product is not right, we the consumers will not buy it. So, in order for the product to effectively be transported from the manufacturer to the consumer, packaging plays a very, very important role. It not only provides a protective barrier, dear students, it also safeguards the product during shipping. Take the example of the toothpaste what we use or the television what we have bought. It may be manufactured somewhere in Jammu Kashmir, it has to reach the state of Telangana, or it might be manufactured in United States of America, it has to reach our country India. So, it has to be transported from the place of the manufacturer to the consumer across the world or across the globe. So, in order for the product to transport from the manufacturer to the ultimate consumer, the product has to be protected. There should be a protective barrier. The product has to be safeguarded during shipping. So, packaging provides this particular function which protects the product from to reach the ultimate consumer from the place of manufacture to the place of ultimate consumption. So, sometimes there will be one packaging, or many a times there will be multiple layers of packaging to protect the product, so that it helps and ensures the product it reaches the destination, that is from the manufacturer to the consumer safely and intact, minimizing the risk of damage. So, in simple terms, dear students, the act of designing and producing the container and wrapper of a product is known as packaging. I again repeat, dear students, the act of designing and producing the container and wrapper of a product is known as packaging. It plays a very, very important role in today's world, as packaging can be a reason for the success or failure of many products. If the product, as I told you, dear students, does not reach the ultimate consumer in the actual form as they desire, consumers will not buy the product. If it is damaged, there is a breakage, there is a spillover, you will not buy a product, isn't it, dear student? That's the reason why it plays an important role for the success or failure of many products. So, appropriate containers and wrappers provide protection and convenience in handling the products. For example, let us take the juices, soft drinks, etc., or the milk what we buy, the oil what we buy for our daily use for cooking are packed in Tetra packs, and heavy products like electronic appliances like TV, refrigerators, laptops, they are packed in boxes so that the product reaches us, the ultimate consumers, in its original form, the form in which it is manufactured. So packaging includes the activities of designing and producing the container or wrapper for a product. So packaging performs a vital function for most of the products. It protects goods from being damaged before you buy them, helps keep, for example, foodstuffs, what are you like, for example, you buy any food item for your day-to-day cooking in a hygienic and fresh way. Let us suppose you buy a burger, you buy a pizza, you buy bread, jam, butter. It has to be hygienic and it has to be fresh. So all these things, all these functions are given by packaging. Although, dear students, the primary function of package was to contain and protect the product, in recent times many factors have made packaging an important marketing tool. Now let us discuss what these are. Before we discuss these factors, dear students, let us discuss the definition and concept of packaging. An increase in self-service. These days you see, dear students, we don't go, most of the time we do our shopping not in small kirana shops. We prefer going to malls, supermarkets or departmental stores to buy our products. So an increase in self-service. When you go to a mall or a departmental store or supermarket, you go and select your product from the shelves of the supermarket. So packaging must now perform many tasks, like it has to attract, it has to gain attention, also it has to describe the product, because nobody is there to explain. You're going to the supermarket, you're just walking, or you go to a mall to buy a television, you just walk in, you just see the display, you see and you buy a particular product. So an increase in self-service means that the package must now perform many tasks, like attracting a customer's attention, describing the product, and then finally making your sale. So companies are now realizing the power of good packaging to create instant customer recognition of the company and also of the brand. Now manufacturers must use a package design, the shape, graphics and texture to protect their brand value and differentiate them. By seeing the package also, you know, is it Lux, is it Dettol, is it Pond's, is it Dove, is it Vim, isn't it? By just seeing the package, you know the brand name, the type of product which is there inside. So these are the different levels of packaging, dear students. If you see the picture shows us three different levels of packaging. One is primary packaging, second one is secondary packaging, the third one is transportation packaging. If you see the toothpaste, what we get, inside a tube you have the toothpaste, that is what is the first packaging, the primary packaging. After the primary packaging, you have a cardboard box in which the toothpaste is kept. That particular packaging in which the toothpaste tube is kept is called as a secondary packaging. The now 10 or 20 or 50 toothpaste are put together and put in a cardboard box, so that it is transported from the place of the manufacturer to the place of the consumer. So in order to transport the goods from the place of the manufacturer to the place of the consumer, you use another packaging. Such type of packaging is called as transportation packaging. So three levels of packaging, dear students. One is primary packaging, two secondary packaging, three transportation packaging. So levels of packaging, dear students, as we have discussed. First one is primary packaging. It is very often the very first layer of packaging that comes in immediate contact with the product. In short, it is the wrapping packaging in which the final product is kept. Example, the tube in which the toothpaste comes, the can in which the oil is sold is called as primary packaging. Then comes the secondary packaging, that is the additional packaging that provides an additional layer of protection to the product is called as secondary packaging. Then comes the transportation packaging or a tertiary packaging, which is nothing but a further packaging which is essential for the protection of the product during transportation and storage, is termed as transportation packaging. Such packaging contains a number of secondary packaging. For example, a cardboard box containing 50 or 100 toothpaste or 20 or 100 chocolates or biscuits or ice creams in it is what is called as transportation packaging. Now, after we have learned the different levels of packaging, dear students, let us learn the functions of packaging. The first function of packaging is product identification. So, in order to identify your products, you require packaging. As I told you many times, but by just seeing a package, you will know what the product is all about. The second important function is product protection. In order to protect your product, as we have been discussing, you require packaging. Then comes facilitating the use of the product. For example, the glass bottle of the coffee powder what we get, it is convenient to store, isn't it? So, it facilitates the use of the product. That's the reason why you have packaging. And also, as I told you, these days you go for shopping these days to supermarkets or malls where self-service, that is, there's no salesman who sells you. You only go, you just walk through the supermarket, see the products which is displayed in the supermarket, and you buy the product. So, packaging acts as a silent salesman these days, where just by looking into the packaging, you read the instructions, you read the date of manufacture, you see the price, you see the ingredients what are there, what is the content which is there inside the packaging, and you decide whether you have to buy that particular product or not. So, packaging also does a little bit of promotion. So, for the first function of packaging, as we have discussed, dear students, is product identification. The second one is product protection. The third one is to facilitate the use of the product. The fourth one is product promotions. So, these are the main functions of product packaging, dear students. After we have learnt packaging, now let us discuss what is labeling. So, labeling is a simple tag or an elaborately designed graphic as a part of packaging. When you take a toothpaste box, on the cover of the toothpaste, the brand name, the logo, the signs, the symbols, the date of manufacture, the maximum retail price, the ingredients, the date of expiry, how to use instructions, etc. is given. That is what is called as a label. Label is for example, you buy a chocolate, you buy a biscuit, you will find the brand name, the logo, the content, the price, the weight, the nutritional value of the biscuit what you are consuming. For few products you have how to use description is given in the label, the date of manufacture, where the company is located, its address, date of expiry if any for that particular product. All the details of the product is given on the label. So, in simple terms, dear students, label is a simple tag or an elaborately designed graphic as a part of package. Also, dear students, label attracts the product through graphics that might promote. As I told you, packaging and labeling goes hand in hand, and these two acts as a silent salesman. Like you, just by seeing most of the times or sometimes by looking into the packaging, we get attracted and we buy the product because we like the way the product is packed. So, similarly, labels also attracts the product through graphics. Wonderful labeling we find these days through graphics that might promote the products. Label also helps the customer to know about the ingredients of the product, and sometimes the labels also give safety warning like smoking cigarette is injurious to health, etc. It also, dear students, labels also describes the product features and rates the product. It tells you what are the features, what the product features are, and also tells us the rate of the product. So, this is what is the label all about. It talks about the label, it talks about the description of the product, sometimes the legal description, the tagline, the punchline, the company's information, the identification marks, etc. is what in general a label tells. There are three different types of label, dear students. Now, let us discuss the three different types of label. First name is the brand label. The brand label, for example, Dabur. Dabur is a brand. That is, if you take a bottle of Chyawanprash, you will find the brand label. You will have the logo of that particular brand on that particular box of Chyawanprash. So that is what is called as brand label. A brand label helps the consumer identify the brand name, trademark or logo. You take a quality ice cream. The quality ice cream, brand name, the logo, the trademark, everything will be there on the brand name. Take Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Any reading material, whatever you have got, you will have Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. You will have the logo, education at your doorstep, punchline on that book. That is what is called as a brand label. Then comes a descriptive label. The descriptive label gives information about the product, its use, when it is made, the date of manufacture, the price of the product, the production process, the ingredients, the performance, how it has to be used, safety measures, safety precautions, instructions for proper use, how the product has to be taken care of. All the information regarding the product is described on the label. That is what is called as a descriptive label. The third label is the grade label. A grade label states the quality. Like for few food products, when you buy a chocolate, biscuit, juice, cold drink, you will have a FSSAI label. FSSAI label. It tells that it is of a good quality. You can consume that particular product because the quality is quality checked and you have no risk consuming. Or you buy an electronic, you will have an ISI mark on it. So the ISI mark tells that particular product of the quality is checked and it is safe for you to use that particular product. So three types of label, dear students. One is brand name, which talks about the brand name, trademark and logo. The descriptive label, which describes the content of the product. Then the third one is the grade label, which grade label states the quality or grade level of the product. Now, dear students, let us discuss the different functions of label. The first function is to describe the product and specify the content. The second important function is it identifies the products and brands. The third important function, as we have discussed, it helps in grading. The fourth is it acts as a silent salesman, so it promotes the sale. And the last important function is it provides information required by law. That is, it gives you all the legal information which is required by law. That is, it is a legal consideration to print a batch number. If you have seen a label, you will find batch number, content, MRP, weight, volume, statutory warnings, etc. All these are mandatory as per law. All these information should be on the product. So, label provides information required by law or all the legal requirements is fulfilled. After we have learned packaging and labeling, dear students, let us try to understand what brand is and what branding is. Earlier, there was a practice of branding. It began very long in the ancient Egyptians, where you have to differentiate one cattle from the another. So, in order to differentiate one cattle from another, a symbol was burned and was kept on an animal. That sign was there on the animal's body. It was a sharp iron piece was with a design used to be heated, and that particular symbol used to be kept on the animal's body, and that would differentiate the owner, one owner to another. That is how branding started very, very long ago. And also, if you see this branding, dear students, branding is one of the most important component of product mix, and as marketers has to make an important decision on whether the product of the firm will be marketed under a generic name or under a brand name. For example, you are buying a laptop. Laptop is a generic name. Toothpaste, it is a generic name. Chocolate, a generic name. Mobile, smartphones, generic name. So you don't have generic names. No, if you have generic names, you can't differentiate one product from another. So instead, you have a brand name. For example, generic name is a laptop. Dell, Lenovo, Sony, Apple, is a brand name. So if you want to buy a laptop, you can select out of the brand name. So that is the difference between a generic. Generic is laptop. Brand name for a laptop is Sony, Dell, iPhone. So now if a marketer sells its products under a generic name, say laptop, then it will be difficult to the firm to sell the product to the consumers, because it is difficult for us, the consumers, to differentiate from one brand of a laptop or one company to another company. So that's a reason why, in order to differentiate the product from one company to another company, we have brands, or we do branding. So in simple terms, let us suppose I manufacture laptops and another company also manufacture laptops. So my brand name is brand A. The other company's brand is brand B. So if I as a consumer want to buy a laptop, I will compare brand A with brand B and I will see which brand is better as per the 4 P's: product, price, promotion and place, based on which I will decide and buy a product. So branding differentiates a product from one competitor to another competitor. So in simple terms, my dear students, now let us try to understand what a brand is. A brand is a name, term, sign, symbol or a design or a combination of these that identifies the maker or seller of a product or service. So I repeat, my dear students, a brand is a name, term, sign, symbol or design, or it can be a combination of these that identifies the maker or seller of a product or services. So in simple terms, dear students, let us look at these definitions. A brand acts as the identification of a product and can be in the form of a symbol, name, design, etc. For example, Bata, Nike, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, etc. are brands. Now, what is a brand name? That part of a brand that can be spoken is known as brand name. Like Dettol, Dell, it is a brand name. Then what is a brand mark? The part of a brand that cannot be spoken but one can recognize by looking at it, like the Nike tick, the logo of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, education at your doorstep. By seeing that, you recognize it is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University. By seeing a tick, by seeing an apple which is bitten, you identify it as Apple. Tick, Nike. M, McDonald's. That is what is a brand mark. What is a trademark? The part of the brand that is given legal protection. Once your brand, the tick, the McDonald's, the Nike, the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, when you take a legal protection of your brand name, you call it as a trademark. So dear students, to just conclude, consumers view a brand as an important part of a product and branding can add value to the product. So this is what is a brand. For example, most consumers would perceive a bottle of Axe perfume as high quality because the brand Axe is there. The same perfume is kept in another bottle without the name, without a brand name, and unbranded, you feel it is of low quality. So the moment a brand name is attached, consumers perceive it to be of high in value. Dear students, now let us discuss the different characteristics of branding. The word selected for branding must be simple. These are the different characteristics of branding, my dear students. The first important characteristics for branding is the word selected for branding must be simple and easy to pronounce. It should not be difficult, like Airtel, Lux, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, simple. It should be simple and memorable, like I should remember it very easily. Dr. B.R., BRAOU, Tata, Birla, BPL, etc. It must be attractive to the eyes and pleasing to ears. Another one is the trade names must provide necessary suggestions sometimes about the product benefits, like Bernal, so it can be used for burns. Nescafe, so it's something coffee in it. The name should be appropriate and suitable to the product. For example, Sony, it means sound sometimes. So sometimes it should suggest some product quality, like Vicks Vapor Rub. The moment you see Vicks Vapor Rub, oh, it is a vaporizer. When you get cough and cold, you can use Vicks Vapor Rub. Lipton Green Label Tea, so it is green label tea. So it should be illustrative and clearly distinctive from other products. Like you have Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University. Just besides Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, you cannot open another university with the same name. Or you already have a brand Sony. So you cannot have another similar name for another company. You already have a brand name called as Airtel. So another company cannot start a new company with the same name, Airtel, Tata, Birla, name any company. So it should be distinctive. It should not be already existing in the market. It should not be outdated. You can't choose old-fashioned and outdated words because people will not understand. Then good brands are those that immediately come to mind when a customer has a problem to be solved and a need to be fulfilled. So these are the different characteristics of branding, dear students. Now let us understand the advantages of branding. Let us divide the advantages of branding into three categories. Advantages to manufacturers, advantages to consumers, and advantages to distributors. So once what the advantages to manufacturer is, it helps in maintaining individually for the product. That is, it enables the manufacturer to distinguish the products from the similar products in the market. So in order to distinguish your product from one marketer to another, branding is used. It enables producers to popularize the product easily. It creates goodwill for the product. The manufacturers can directly control the prices of the products. By branding the product, market expenses can be reduced. These are the advantages to the manufacturers. Now, dear students, let us discuss the advantages to the consumers. It helps evaluating the quality of the products. As I told you, the example of the Axe, the moment you find Axe, you think it is branded, it is of high quality. The moment you find an unbranded bottle with the same ingredient, you feel it is of low quality. It helps in preventing adulteration of goods by middlemen because it is branded. Consumers get products of uniform standards. I buy an Axe perfume in Hyderabad, or I buy the Axe perfume in Mumbai or in Delhi or Calcutta. Wherever you buy, the quality is the same. It extends to the consumers to make buying very easy by identifying the brand. Also, it ensures fixed prices to consumers because when it is branded, as I told you, the Axe perfume in Hyderabad, the Axe perfume in Karnataka, the Axe perfume anywhere in the world price would be the same. Now let us discuss the advantages of branding to distributors. It reduces the selling efforts, or it reduces risk as well, dear students. It helps in advertising and sales promotion programs. There is also stability in prices because of branding, and also it reduces cost of distribution. Now, dear students, let us discuss the disadvantages of branding. 1, it is expensive. 2, it is not easy to build up brand reputation and loyalty. 3, brand loyalty discourages the consumers from trying out other new brands which may give them larger utility and satisfaction. So these are the major brand strategy decisions decisions, dear students. You have to select the brand name properly, like you should suggest something about the product. It should be easy to pronounce. It should be distinctive while selecting. The logos also sometimes differentiates one brand from another brand. Let us discuss the different types of brands available in the market, dear students. There are many brands like national or manufacturers brand like Tata, Rexona, Airtel, Nestle, Lux, where it is a manufacturer. You also have private brands created and owned by retailers like Big Bazaar, Shoppers Stop, Reliance Fresh. Sometimes you take a brand licensing like the McDonald's, the Domino's, where you take licensing and you sell that particular products. Like also another type of branding is co-branding, where two like Maruti and Suzuki, they both come together and manufacture. Two brands come together, Tata and Sky, Tata Sky, Hero and Honda, Hero Honda. That is what is co-branding. To conclude, my dear students, brand is all about experiences. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I experience and I understand. So by hearing the name of the brand repeatedly or by seeing the product more frequently, the customers do not remember the brand. It is the delivery of the right experiences that does the job. Thank you for your patient listening.